say, as someone who travels, I've never seen a Black Wall Street in Black America. I've never seen a Black Wall Street even outside of the United States, for that matter. Possibly some places in Africa, but wherever you go in the world, three things you're going to find: white Jesus, mass incarceration of Black men, and someone else is controlling the Black economy.
Someone asked you this, it's the holiday season now. Kwanzaa is approaching, and a lot of our people don't know what Kwanzaa is. So, I wanted you to define what Kwanzaa is and just break it down to the people.
I'll do a general one, and I met Dr. Malana Karenga when I keynoted the Black Consciousness Conference at Long Beach State a couple years ago, largest attended conference in the history of that college at that time too. Kwanzaa, and I hope I don't do a disservice to Dr. Karenga, but Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday that was created to give African people an opportunity to celebrate themselves as we look around and see everybody else celebrating themselves. So the Jews have their Hanukkah, and Americans got their Thanksgiving and their Christmas and their 4th of July, and everybody else is celebrating their holidays, even Chinese and Arabs and East Indians. So Dr. Karenga, from what I understand, he said, well, let me come up with something that would give our people a place under the sun in America. And so he came up with the Nguzo Saba of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa begins the day after Christmas, so that's the 26th, all the way up until including New Year's Day. Now, I'm not going to get them principles in order, so you're not going to get me the line.
Yeah, good, yeah.
But, you have your Nia, purpose, and these are in no order. You have your Ujamaa, which I believe is economics. You have your Ujima. What's Ujima?
Let's go.
Okay.
Your Iman, your faith.
Iman, Kuji Chakalia.
Self-determination.
Self-determination.
And it's who we missing?
Oh, Moja.
Umoja, Nia, Kuji Chakalia, Kuumba. And which one is that? Creativity. Yeah. So, yeah. Being a Garveyite, the principles of Kwanzaa are already embedded into our philosophy as Pan-Africanists, so we live it every day. My thing with Kwanzaa, like everything else we do, we got to put a movement to it, because I think we as Black people can be celebratory to a fault. Our people do need it, so I do support it. But I think we could be celebratory to a fault, even with Juneteenth. We're always celebrating something. Black folks are always celebrating something, but we're not building nothing. The vacuum that exists with us as a people is organization and institutions. Wherever you go, we're going to be talking about everything except organization and institutions. That's where our weakness is. And the government can't build them things for you. You got to build them for yourself. Oh. As you always hear me say, as someone who travels, I've never seen a Black Wall Street in Black America. I've never seen a Black Wall Street even outside of the United States, for that matter. Possibly some places in Africa, but wherever you go in the world, three things you're going to find: white Jesus, mass incarceration of Black men, and someone else is controlling the Black economy. Nowhere on the planet Earth do Black people control their own economy. Nowhere. And that's sad. That's what we need to be talking about. The philosophy and the ideology, and that's good. I ain't got no issue with that. I love to talk Garveyism, but at the end of the day, it's about solutions. And if all we're going to keep talking about is where we come from and who was here first and what religion is right, that's not solving no problems. We need tactical solutions for tactical problems, and I don't see us dealing with that. The biggest contradiction of the 21st century consciousness community, and I can say that because I know everybody in it, and if I compare that to the 1960s Black consciousness movement, to Stokely and Malcolm and King and Medgar and Huey and Snick and Ella Baker and all of them, the biggest difference is we got more information, but they had more organization. They fought the problems. All we do is talk about rhetoric and analysis.
And while we want to give you your flowers and add on to that, because you create solutions. Myself, I work at a school called Harambe right here in West Philadelphia. Rashawn attended Harambe when he was younger. And Harambe is a school that started by a guy named Baba Sheaf. And the people that I met in the streets that went to Harambe are different, come from a certain type of energy from what he did. And I want to know your opinion on Baba Sheaf, and how did that inspire you to do what you're doing, creating your own school? Because when I'm in that school and I see what he did, how he walked in Agalia, and how we got to see the pledge every day, and how people tell me how he had how he disciplined us, and how you couldn't bring candy into school and chips and sugar drinks, and how gym was like karate, and how they just you had to be in family and somebody to get you in. It was like he was doing something special. So I love what he did, and I'm honored to be a part of his school. And I just want to know your opinion on Harambe, Baba Sheaf, and what you're doing with your school.
Yes, sir. I didn't spend a lot of time in Harambe. I did a professional development there once, came to a few meetings there. I met Mr. Skeef a few times. He's an ancestor now, I believe.
Yeah.
Rest in paradise.
What year was this?
You know, this is, I wouldn't remember. It would have been sometime between 05 and 15.
I was a student there.
Yeah. So I came through there. I think I evaluated a couple kids there too. I'm a school psychologist. He's the father of the charter school movement in Philly. And Philly has more charter schools than any other city in the United States. So he's largely responsible for that. He opened up that opportunity because charter schools were founded by white women in Minnesota who could not afford independent school for their children. So they petitioned the state government in Minnesota to create a school that would still be public under state jurisdiction, but would give the families and the communities an opportunity to innovate the educational process of the school. So charter schools by law are alternative public schools, but you're given the freedom to change the process and the structure of that school to maximize student benefits. And so the idea is if you can do the job better than the school district can do it for less money than the school district, then we're going to give you a shot. But if you prove that you can't do it, then we'll take your charter back. So that's the way charter schools operate. And so because they were for white people and not black people, you know, when Mr. Skeef stepped up to take out his charter and other folks as well following him, you know, they was met with some resistance because this was never supposed to be about y'all. And even the charter schools in black communities, most of them were started by white people. You know, so when you have black people saying we're going to take out a charter for our own students, you know, that met with some resistance. But he was able to navigate those difficult waters and give birth to Harambe. And then in many ways, like a Booker T. Washington did on a lower level, because Booker ain't got no comparables, but on a lower level, you know, he did what Booker T did. And so Booker T, after he got Tuskegee up, he went and he helped Mary McLeod Bethune get Bethune-Cookman up. And he would just go around and help other HBCUs get started. And that's what Mr. Skeef did to many of the other brothers and sisters who opened up charter schools. Half your black charter schools in the city would not exist without him. You know, so he did a great job. And the fact that not only did he give us the first one, but to give it an African-centered foundation was even more, you know, that was even more revolutionary. You know, that made the impact even great. Because if he would have just came with a regular, you know, multicultural, colorblind type charter school, you know, it's good because it's black, but you're not really teaching them who they are. If you got a black bookstore, if you got a cultural center, a cultural shop, a beauty salon, you must come and stock up on the products that ACAF has in here, coming directly to you from the mother continent of Africa. Hit that website, acaf.us, acaf.us, and show your black love, because there will be no black power without the black dollar. One love.